Hola, amigo. Soy Ruth, soy profesora de español y quiero presentar dos verbos problemáticos en inglés, to be, estar y ser en español. En la segunda parte del video quiero presentar tener y hay, to have, and that verb I comes from haber and it means to have, and we use I to mean there is and there are. Ok, pero comenzamos con estar. Ok, porque yo pienso cuando internalizamos unos ejemplos, nos resulta más fácil producir nuestros pensamientos en español. Comenzamos con el ejemplo I'm in an apartment. En el libro Pasos se trata de un email home, un email a casa desde una vacación en una urbanización cerca de Marbella. And that's in Unidad 7, Part D. I don't know the page number. I'll put it up here. If we're going to say, I'm in an apartment, we're using estoy because we're saying where we are. I want you to imagine that you are in an apartment en una urbanización cerca de Marbella. And you're going to say, estoy en un apartamento. If you want to say it's in a housing development, how would you say that? Está en una urbanización. Because urbanización is a housing development. So the whole thing, imagine you're there. Look around yourself. Feel the heat. I'm in an apartment. It's in a development near Marbella. The whole thing. Estoy en un apartamento. Está en una urbanización cerca de Marbella. ¿Vale? Now, you could say it's opposite the swimming pool. And that you would use opposite enfrente de. We had cerca de, now we're going to use enfrente de. And you know the word for swimming pool is piscina. So you're going to say it's opposite the swimming pool. Está enfrente de la piscina. So we're using estar to say where things are. It's estoy en el apartamento, está en una urbanización cerca de Marbella, o está enfrente de la piscina. So imagine yourself there. Make a little flashcard y memoriza el ejemplo o los ejemplos sencillos. Y así la gramática entra en la cabeza, in the subconscious, where you want it to be. If you want to say the houses are painted white, what you would say is the houses, you could use las casitas, the little houses, las casitas. And then you're going to say they are painted. Now, painting is something easy to change, so we're going to use estar again. And then you're going to say of colour white. And you're not going to say blanco because they're casitas, so we're going to say blanca. ¿Vale? So, how would you say that? Las casitas están pintadas de color blanca. Okay? Bien. Next up, let's have a look at the verb ser. Usamos ser for things that are intrinsic characteristics. So, when we want to say our apartment is big, we're going to use the word nuestro for the word for our. Nuestro. It's a lovely word. Nuestro apartamento. And then to say it is big, you're going to use es grande because it's an intrinsic característico del apartamento. Okay. ¿Cómo se dice our apartment is big? Nuestro apartamento es grande. If you want to make that negative, just put no in front of the S, okay? And why not say it's not very big? How do you say very? Well, our apartment is not very big. Nuestro apartamento no es muy grande. Did you get it? Okay, so that word muy means very. You can say but, which is pero, but it's very comfortable. And the word for comfortable is cómodo, with the stress on the first co, because there's an accent on the o. Okay, so our apartment isn't very big, but it's very comfortable. How do you say that? Nuestro apartamento no es muy grande, pero es muy cómodo. Now let's talk about la zona. So if you're going to say the zone, the area is pretty, you could use the word bonita because la zona is feminine. So how do you say the area is very pretty? La zona es muy bonita. And if you want to say it's calm, again, we're describing intrinsic característicos, pop them down and memoriza los ejemplos. So the zone is very pretty and it's very calm. La zona es muy bonita y es muy tranquila. I like the word tranquila, like tranquil. And then we're back to our little houses. The little houses, las casitas, the little houses are very old, and old is a lovely word. We could use the word viejas. Viejas. Do you like that or do you hate it? Viejas. Can you say it? So how do you say the little houses are very old? Las casitas son muy viejas. Ahora tienes unos ejemplos from the first part de la clase of estar y unos ejemplos de ser. Memoriza los ejemplos. Imaginar. Usa tu imaginación to put yourself en este apartamento en Marbella y describir lo que ves en la imaginación. Next up, we're going to look at tener and hay. Tiene means it has, or tienen means they have. Hay means there is or there are. And you just use el sentido común para decidir whether you're going to use tiene or hay. But let's give you unos ejemplos que se puede memorizar para internalizar. And maybe then you can use them to completa un postal. So a little bit of writing goes a long way. Imagine that you're in un apartamento en Marbella or cerca de Marbella and you're writing a little postcard home. Let's get with tener and I just before we finish and get onto the little writing exercise. So let's start with it has a pool. Tiene una piscina. You could also say there is a pool, there is a big pool. And how would you say that? Hay una piscina grande. You could say there is a very big pool. How do you say that? Hay una piscina muy grande. There's a terrace too. We'll use también for too, and you can put it at the beginning of the sentence. So you're going to use también, and then hay for there is, and a terrace is una terraza. So there's a terrace too. How do you say that? También hay una terraza. Okay, there is a city nearby. We're going to use cerca for the word for nearby. And you're going to say there is with I. Why not make it a pretty city? So that's going to be una ciudad bonita. Now can you put those together and say there is a pretty city nearby? Hay una ciudad bonita cerca. If you want to make it very nearby, you're going to say muy cerca. ¿Verdad? There's a city very pretty nearby. Your turn. Hay una ciudad muy bonita muy cerca. ¿Vale? Now it has pretty houses. We'll make them casitas, little houses. And so they're going to be casitas bonitas. And it has, of course, is tiene. So how would you say it has pretty houses? Tiene casitas bonitas. Tiene casitas bonitas. And just to finish this off and wrap it up, you're going to say there's no traffic. You can't say it has no traffic. It doesn't sound as good. Say there is no traffic. And you're going to use I. And traffic is very easy. That's going to be tráfico. But what we're going to do to make it there isn't is we're going to put no in front. So there isn't traffic will become no hay tráfico. Now, writing is such a good way to cement your learning. You find where the gaps are, you find where your strengths are, and it's your production, so it becomes your lenguaje. So I want you to write un postal, and in your postal you're going to say, I'm in an apartment near a city, Marbella, and you're going to say it has a pool, you're going to say it's big, you're going to say it has a terrace. And use el lenguaje de esta clase para escribir tus imaginaciones. See? If you have pasos, you can then go to página 105. And there are lots and lots of verbos at the bottom of the page. Can you see at the bottom of the page here? Lots of verbos. It's a writing exercise. That means there aren't any transcripts for it. So this isn't one of the free ones that's available online. You can buy the book for not very much money, $15, $20, something like that. And you can translate that to about £13 to £15, something like that. This is página 105. One thing I will say is that Unit 7 doesn't have answers in the supplementary materials. So if you have any problemas, you can write to me, ruth@spanglishfantastico.com. And I will get back to you as long as this is still quite small and there aren't 30,000. So I wish you good luck, and I hope that by memorizando unos ejemplos. It helps you to imaginar, internalizar, y to take ownership of español. I'll see you en la próxima video. Por favor, give me a little like, a little subscribe, y nos vemos muy pronto. Adiós.